Senator from Florida.
I ask for unanimous consent for 4 minutes of debate equally divided prior to the next roll call vote.
Is there objection? Without objection, so ordered.
Mr. President, as we work to get the agricultural community back on their feet, I won't stop fighting to make sure that the federal government keeps showing up. Following natural disasters in prior years, USDA has administered block grants to many of our states. The Block Grant Assistance Act would explicitly give USDA the authority to provide block grants as an option to states and territories to assist agricultural producers with losses due to natural disasters occurring in calendar year 2022. Importantly, it provides streamlined relief to growers by freeing up USDA resources at state FSA offices, allowing states to allocate funds directly to growers impacted most by covered disasters, allowing farmers to perform necessary and time-sensitive tasks on their farms without the danger of foregoing disaster aid. And this bill does not mandate states to request disaster funding through state block grants. It only opens up this option. I've talked to many of you about this bill in the last few days. I understand that many of my Democrat colleagues have concerns about this legislation. I want to address those concerns directly, and why were we even talking about this right now? First, this bill doesn't take anything away from any one state. It creates an option for block grants that help our growers and ranchers who have been impacted by disasters. Again, this bill will not negatively impact any state. I want to make sure that's clear. I've also heard some of my colleagues say that this isn't needed because just this week, after refusing to take action for 14 months, Biden's Ag Department finally opened up the ERP portal for growers and ranchers to apply for assistance just as this was to come to a vote. Our farmers have still not received a dime. Here's the deal. I don't trust this process. I know my constituents sure don't, and I don't think the assistance being offered is anything close to what's needed for our farmers to actually recover. This bill helps farmers all across the country, but let me speak for Florida. We've been waiting for more than a year, 14 months to be exact, and nothing was done by the Biden administration until they knew that the Senate would be voting on my bill, and it's still just an application process. I don't think anyone can blame us for feeling uneasy about this process. If we pass this bill today, we can give certainty to growers and ranchers in all of our states that they have a reliable partner in the federal government to make sure they can recover from natural disasters. Seems like something we can support. Folks across the country that put food on the table and create jobs in our states are hurting. I've been clear to the ag community in Florida. I won't stop fighting to make sure that the federal government keeps showing up. This is a good bill that helps hardworking people. It's already unanimously passed by the House, and I urge all of my colleagues to support it in the Senate today.
Mexico.
Mr. President, our nation has experienced a series of recent natural disasters. The tragic Maui wildfires, the flooding in Vermont and California, the damage caused by Hurricane Idalia. Communities in my home state of New Mexico have been impacted by destructive floods and mudslides following last year's historic wildfire season. We must get these Americans the help that they need during these difficult times, and we must do it as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, this bill would do the opposite. On Friday, the Biden administration announced that producers impacted by disasters last year are now eligible to apply for critical emergency assistance. H.R. 662 would delay that funding, essentially stopping the application process that the U.S. Department of Agriculture just got underway. In addition, the administration already has the authority under law to provide funding to states through block grants. So this bill is both counterproductive and unnecessary. So for these reasons, I would urge my colleagues to vote no.
The clerk will read the title of the bill for the third time.
H.R. 662, an act to amend the Disaster Relief Supplemental Appropriation Act and so forth and further purposes.
The question occurs on passage of H.R. 662 as amended. Is there a sufficient second? There appears to be. Clerk will call the roll.
Ms. Baldwin, Mr. Barras.